What is going on? You did it the first time?
I don't know.
And it worked?
Did it work?
Way.
I didn't change some things.
First time?
Yeah.
You're live.
We are live. We got 4 of us today. And hopefully y'all can see. But today is choose it or lose it. We got a little more opinions in here than last time.
Yes.
If you want to participate with Choose It or Lose It, the whole point of this is you get a choice between 2 things. And one you get to use for the rest of your life, and one you have to completely eliminate for the rest of your life. You are no longer allowed to use it.
Correct. That's what's happening.
So
I'm glad I'm old.
There's not much time left. I don't have much sacrifice. So basically, yeah, that's the premise of it. And what do we want to start off with?
I don't know. Elau says hi from Reno.
Oh.
Hi from Reno.
Yeah.
Elau.
I just saw you like 24 hours ago.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess it's only a 3-hour drive, but
Who's the best
Still.
scoper in the room?
Me?
Do you even have a scope?
No. That's
Oh.
why I'm so good at it.
Yeah, he's the best scoper because he doesn't have to worry about it at all.
Nope.
I don't know who would be the best scoper.
It's out of you two. It's not me.
I focus on it a lot more than Brian does. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Who commented the best scoper?
Tom Smith.
Tom Smith. He was actually asking about forward-facing minnow baits. And I messaged him on that. Basically, I use the FF minnow with Yum. I don't know the color. There's a couple different shad colors. Usually go with something darker with that. And then the other one is Blue Blizzard in the
Hog Farmer.
Hog Farmer.
Yeah. He
That's
said,
the best color out of all of them that I've ran across. And again, that is, like I said, we are still learning that one.
he said that he's chiming in from Meth Desto and Mantuica.
Oh, God.
That is definitely Mephisto and Mantuica.
All right, so what are we starting with? Where are we going? Choose it or lose it?
Choose it or lose it. I think we're going to start with something very simple.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
In fact, we even got them on the deck. We got a typical frog or a poppin' frog.
Oof.
Which one are you going to throw? These are both river to sea,
I
but
get you.
any poppin' frog, any one. Now, my first question before we get into this. The poppin', the Strait King, shoot, the fish-looking one. I just blanked on it. Is that included with the poppin' ones?
Like the perch?
Like the pipsqueak and the poppin' perch?
Yeah.
The poppin' perch, would that be included?
That's not a frog, though.
It's
Yep.
not a frog, so
It is
we don't
topwater.
have to count about it, right?
Yeah, we don't have to count about
Okay,
it.
that makes my decision better. All right, who's gonna start off?
Me?
Yeah, I already know your answer.
You got nominated.
What's my answer then?
You're gonna
Mr.
pick
Miller?
this one, and I'm gonna pick this one
Why am I picking this one, sir?
because I know you're gonna pick that one.
Why? I feel like
Why don't you tell them?
I feel like I can throw
And
this.
then I'll tell you why
bait.
you're wrong.
I feel like I could throw this bait and get more of a reaction with the pop, especially if fishing the Delta. If there's a little bit of wind, it's a little bit noisier, and I can make it walk way better with that cup. I actually walk them, not just straight pop them. So the only problem is if it's really matted, it doesn't come through as well, but it leaves a good line, like if it's
Yeah.
matted,
Yeah.
because it's got
But
that.
it will come
that-
through. It's
it
just
will
not
come
as
through it.
easy. I
But
agree. Yeah.
I will 100% throw a poppin' frog before I'll throw a regular frog. I typically throw the junior, what's a junior? That's like,
65.
yeah, the 65
Or, yeah, 65.
instead of this one.
Instead
Um,
of 75.
Yeah. In fact, I purchased
But-
a couple of those because of yours.
Yes.
With fishing with you last year.
Yeah, I 100% like these. I'll throw them through the toolies. I'll throw them through anything. I would 100% go with a poppin' frog and either white or black, depending on the
Specifically.
river to sea.
River to sea.
I'm throwing river to sea all day. I like the way they hook up. I like the hooks on them. I feel like I could really
Straight enough.
sink them
Good enough, Jim.
into the fish. And sometimes I have to get them out of their throat.
Do you bend the hooks or leave them stock?
I try to bend them out a little bit, just where I can feel the hook on my finger, right? Like if I can't feel the hooks on my fingers when I'm running it by, I feel like I'm not going to get a very good hook set on them, right? Like I want a little bit. I don't want too much because I don't want it to hang up, but
Yeah, that's sort of that fine line, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's-
you don't want it
it's-
to keep grabbing stuff, and but if you don't, they can be. Some of them are really down, and
Yeah.
you're just really hurting your hookup percentage is already low, so you might as well tweak it a little to increase your odds a little bit.
And do you trim tails?
I do trim tails
How do you trim tails? What do you trim it to?
just like that.
To
I
the
hang it
nose.
upside down and cut it flush
Flush with the head.
with the head.
Simple.
Simple.
Go for it.
I love a poppin' bait. However, when it comes to frogs, I'm going to go with the straight frog, and it's probably going to be a river to sea, or a is it the Bobby's Perfect Frog?
Snack proof.
Snag proof, perfect frog. Generally same color, white or black, maybe depending on early morning or during the day. And I think they're great all the time during the day. A lot of guys, only top water in the morning, but sometimes also with maybe some yellow on it to get a little contrast, give them something to aim at. And as far as trimming tails, I'm kind of like Brian. I usually flip it over, cut it to the eye. However, I have also cut one a hair shorter than the other to help make it walk a little better, especially when I was starting out just a couple years ago with the frog. I think it kind of helps a beginner get that walking in where it's staying in the strike zone quite a bit longer. And yes, I think you need to bend the hooks a little bit outwards and a little upwards. Same thing with Brian, like Brian said, as far as feeling your thumb go across it.
Yep.
And there's that fine line of going too far. And
Yeah, you want to feel that
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah,
If I know I'm fishing open water where I'm open watering them, I will go higher off of the body if I'm getting short struck. That way I know 100% in my head there is no doubt that the body's in the way.
Yeah.
let me pass that over to you.
Hey,
I'm going to go with
Tom Smith says, when the Delta is firing up, popping, no question. That's what he's going with.
Yeah, there's definitely different times of the year that a popping, times of the day even, that are popping versus a regular.
Yeah.
But I will say overall, I actually will pick a regular over the other them, and it's actually a development as of this year, and it really just became confidence. A lot of the times, like if him and I are fishing together on the Delta, we're not going to throw the same bait. And what basically I was kind of noticing is that I could go fish for fish with them, and then I could also throw it. You can throw the popping style into the muck and all that stuff, but it just doesn't slide through as well. Like it actually kind of hang up on something, then you have to like pop it free. And you can still split splash with these ones, and those split splashes will still work. Are they completely exchangeable with each other? No, but overall, I can do more with a regular style. And then the same thing, I'm gonna cut it the same way. I'm gonna fold it over, cut it at the head, flush with the body, or flush with the tip, and bend those hooks out. This one actually does not have bent out hooks.
Neither of them do.
Yeah, probably because I
That
just
one's
grabbed
brand new.
white ones. I've been throwing all black, or the blackbird yellowhead or whatever that is.
Yeah.
I've just been throwing that. I haven't even been changing away from that color. I've gotten really lazy in my frog. I think it's more about location
Well, it
than
works.
it is.
It works too.
Yeah, I think it's more about location and action than it is color per se.
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yep.
Got a question. How often do we catch trout while bass fishing?
I get that question a lot.
Funny thing
If
is,
you watch the video that just came out 2-3 hours ago, there's a trout catch on a jerkbait in that video.
yeah,
He caught it. It's
Nice.
the third or fourth fish catch in,
Yeah.
something like that. Decent trout. from
Yeah.
Berryessa.
We
Cool.
thought about keeping it.
It was a really good. We
It was
legit
good.
was like, I don't know. We got to clean it. We still got 4 hours of fishing. We can make this work.
Thought about it.
Ended up releasing it.
Mm.
How about you? Which one are you going with, John?
I'm going with Poppin' Frog.
Oh, 50-50 split. Everybody in the comments, please tell them while they're wrong.
Absolutely.
Let me know what we need to break this split. Comments, let me know which one.
Right now, we're already ahead.
Yeah, the Poppin' Frog.
Because he already said, Tom Smith already said, if the Delta's firing, Popping Frog, no question.
And we're going.
We're
with that.
winning.
That's right.
Somebody
High five.
help me out.
High five.
Somebody help me out. Anyways, Poppin' Frog, why?
I just prefer. One of my favorite baits to throw is a Pop R, the Rico Pop. I love that style of bait. Right, that's sort of an old school bait. And I can throw this over the scum and the heavy. Not as effective, but it is doable.
Yeah.
And I think in open water, I think the popper for me, because I'm not real skilled at walking. I just have never had that touch to truly walk. I've tried your technique of the trimming the one side shorter.
Right.
I've tried that and I just can't get the cadence. So this allows me to be a crappier frog fisherman.
Trying to make
I
up
will-
some ground.
I will say that cupped face does let it walk easier.
Yeah.
If you want to learn the walking,
and
grab
slower.
something with a cupped face and it will turn on itself. And if you can't get it to turn, hit it lighter.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
pulling through it. You want to just basically pick that line up and that, like, if you're actually walking it and you got your line laid across the water, you're only moving the last 4 foot of line. The rest of your line stays matted on the water and never comes off.
Yeah.
You're only jumping like that 4 foot. If you notice that you're jumping more than 4 foot and you're not walking, you're probably hitting it too hard. Hit it lighter. You only want to move, like I said, like at most 4 foot.
So now, are you guys all braid with frogs?
65-pound Power Pro end-to-end.
Solid braid.
Okay.
Solid braid.
Solid
I just-
braid.
just-
Not changing.
6 power or 736 rod, and if that frog disappears, I'm cracking him as hard as I can.
Why?
That's the way you set the hook with the drop shot.
I crack everything. and as Bobby Barrett says, fish don't have hands. If you can't see it, they're not holding it in their fins. It's in their mouth, and I will always crack them and get them heading towards me because you never know. My PB was on a frog 9.5, and the thing just disappeared. Like there was no swirl, no nothing. It just the frog just went underwater, and I cracked him and was like, "Oh, it's like a 2. It's not that bad." And then it like pulled, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe it's like a 4." And then it came up on the mat and laid on its side, and my buddy that I was fishing with threw his GLX down on the deck, bang, bouncing, and went for the net.
So
9.5.
do you wait? I know a problem I had when I was first beginning. One, I was pulling way too hard and it wasn't walking. So you said lighter, but do you wait a second or so when that frog disappears and feel the weight of him?
Nope.
No.
Crack him?
So I record at 120 frames per second when I'm frog fishing. It is typically 11 to 14 frames before I'm swinging out of 120 frames
So you
per
see the
second.
frog disappear, you're swinging.
I'm already loaded, basically. So when you get zoned in on it, you can actually see if it goes down tail first. Like when you watch that bite, you can see that it is a tail. Those ones are the ones, because like my brain is rigged to swing, and it takes me like a swing,
him
and
too.
I'm already starting to lead before I'm like, stop. So like that's how reactionary I am with swinging, and he's the same way. He actually has, he is swinging, but in footage, he sets up before he swings, and that setup, our reaction time is the same, but his setup lets them have the bait a little bit longer.
Right.
It's like I said, they don't have hands, so it's got to be in their mouth.
I
Gotta
tell
be
you,
in
I
their mouth.
have frogging is fun, but man, I have a heck of a
blast.
time. I have such a hard time hooking them, and I don't know what I do wrong. Could be the rod. I don't have a true good frogging rod. I just can't. I'll literally feel them hammer me, and I'm swinging, and I don't even hook them. You know, and I've tried the pause, I've tried to I've tried everything, and I have struggled frogging. You know, I can't figure it out.
All right, we got to catch on some comments here.
Yeah, we'll have to get a day and then we'll
Yeah, I need
see.
I need help.
All right, so who
get
puts
it on
out
video and then you'll really learn.
Who puts out good catching giants on the Delta videos? Cast to catch. Not fishing from the back of the boat, but a real captain. I'm going to tell you that, like, if any of us are fishing, most of the time, even if we're together, we're all in front of the boats. We're all captains. I'll be running the boat. If I step back a step, James will step up a step. Same with Matlock. Same with Big John. We really don't care, but we'll just go out and have a great time.
Yeah, I don't know video-wise who would put out. I mean, there's the typical Bearded Bassin. There's Coach Miguel. I mean, they're all good sticks on Delta.
Yeah.
Blanchard's a good stick on Delta, even though he's in a kayak. He's still a good stick on Delta.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other ones. There was a channel that was really good, but he doesn't do videos anymore, and he hasn't been doing them for like 3 or 4 years. I can't even remember what his name was at this point, but he was a good Delta stick. Like, there was a couple times where I was like, oh, that makes sense, just watching it, you know.
Marlon.
Crappie Closet.
What's up, Marlon?
Says that those are his favorite frogs right there. River to Sea.
River Sea.
Yeah.
River to Sea.
That's what I threw too.
Good quality.
I just like the hooks in them, really. I mean, they're durable baits.
They're not
but
ones
it's
that
the hooks that are in them, and my hookup ratio is better than other baits that
I feel like they're softer too. I feel like they're not ones that you have to prep. Like sometimes there's some of the frogs that their bodies are really hard. You need to put them in boiling water and take them out.
The only exception is the gloss finish ones. If you have a matte finish, it's soft. If you get the gloss finish River to Seas, they're tougher, and you do have to boil those.
Yeah. All right. Next question we got. Kind of off topic, but that's what we're doing here, right?
Yep.
What are your thoughts on spinning gear? Should cost more than $200 for both rod and reel, or you choose more expensive?
My drop shot / Senko / forward-facing minnow /
Ned rig.
No, I don't throw Ned rig on that bait or on that rod / ice jig. All 4 of those things are on a Dobbins Fury 702.
$110 rod.
$110 rod, used to be under $100. $110 rod, and my reel is a Fluger Precedent,
Which is
they work
50
59
to 60 bucks.
Yeah, that's what they were a great reel.
Yeah, I'm under $200 for a combo that I will catch literally 8-pounders on.
All day.
And catfish that are up to what, like 14 pound or something like that. Catfish.
Yep, all day. That's what I'm going with too.
Yeah.
Marlon says he likes the frogs with the rattle on the back.
Oh, you can put the rattles on.
Yeah. Well, they come with the rattle. The fat daddies.
The fat daddies come with the rattle.
The fat Matt Daddy.
Yeah.
I haven't played around with rattles or weights at all. I just take them out of the package, bend the hooks, cut the trails, and throw them. I probably should, because all the frog boys on Delta definitely play with that stuff.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of sometimes if the mat is a thicker type of mat, I've heard of putting either split shot just into the frog or BBs to make it a little heavier, to make a little more of a trail
Impression
through there. Yeah,
on the
exactly.
mat.
And then add some noise too, right? Because it's banging on the hooks.
I will say, out of all of the frogfish that I've caught, I'd say 80 to 90% of them have been open water. Not through mats and stuff.
Skull crawler.
That's just because I don't know what I'm doing.
Skull crawler says, please don't keep the trout. They deserve to borrow some shad from the bass.
Hey,
True.
No, they can feed.
That's true.
The bass are going to eat them.
but baby trout are delicious for that.
Right?
I actually want to plant trout in Barry.
Yeah.
About 5 inches long.
Skullcrawler says, I'm not a bass fisherman, just a fly fisherman that like watching Greg Blanchard and tournament videos.
Mm-hmm.
Blanchard has some. I gotta say this about Blanchard. I can watch a 40-minute video of Blanchard where he never catches a fish and still be entertained end to end.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it.
If
Yeah,
I
he's
could
good.
figure out how to
He's
edit
good.
that good and be that good at talking to the camera, I mean, it'd be over. But I
Right.
mean, there's a reason why he's highly successful.
Yeah.
And dude
Yeah.
can fish.
And
on
the guy
top of
can,
that.
yeah, and good fisherman, and his videos are, I enjoy them.
Yeah, I have zero problems turning them on, and
I think
if it's an in and out day, as he says.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you see his passion come through, right?
Yeah.
Like he's almost like he's not making videos for us; he's making them for him, and then we just like them.
Yeah, and he's got his heart in it. And
Yeah,
all that. Like
absolutely.
you can tell.
All right. Marlon says, open water. I love popping frogs over grass or mats, walking frogs, which makes sense, right?
That's
Never a
that's
bad
the
decision.
1-2 punch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skullcrawler says, I'm not even sure what you're talking about based on what you have on the table. So,
Well, we have a bunch of stuff on here in
Yes.
case you get bored and want to look at stuff.
but the frogs is what they have that we're talking about.
These bad boys.
A little bit bigger than a fly.
Yep, a little bit bigger,
Yes.
but
Compared to your hand, I do have smaller hands than normal.
um,
John has real hands.
yeah.
Yeah, John has real hands. I
Wow.
have baby hands. It's a baby.
Getsy says, my question still stands from the last Choose It or Lose It. I forgot what the question was.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Yeah,
don't
post
know.
it up, Brian.
Yeah. What?
Oliver Nye, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's happening?
He says he misses frog fishing. We do too. It's not that time of year right now.
Not there yet.
Yes,
It will
but
be there.
Unless
It's-
you're Bobby
it's
Berg,
coming.
and then it's 12 months a year. maybe.
Right.
yeah, that's
Bobby.
true.
You guys are curious where we learned about jabberjaws from?
Yeah,
It's Owl over 9.
right
Hey, we
there.
got one on the deck.
Jabberjaw.
Right there. Regurgitated shad. 100%.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Works.
Oh, he's already starting in
Anywhere.
with the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getsy is.
So Getsy's asking, hot dogs or ice cream?
Oh God.
I want to modify that one.
Oh.
And I'm gonna modify that one to B&W hot dog or Williams burrito. Have you had the Williams burrito?
Yes.
Have you
Couple
had the Williams
times.
burrito?
No.
We're gonna have to hold that one then.
We might have. Well, we can get into it.
I'm telling you.
Because ice cream, I'm gonna eat both of them.
Yeah, he's gonna
I'll
eat
eat
both.
the hot dog
That's
and
one
the ice
thing.
cream.
One's a main course, one's a dessert.
For you, it'd be more sprinkles or no sprinkles.
All-
But okay, so I mean that is a pretty good. Let's do that. Let's do hot dog and ice cream because then you have to choose one of them. You can't have both
Ever again?
ever again. So next time you go there, you can't have the ice cream or you can't have the hot dog from B&W.
Hold on.
Time out.
Time out. One, Oliver Nye says, damn shame they're discontinuing this.
Who?
But it's
Yeah, they've been.
Who made that?
They've been
but
on
it's
clean.
not a shame because now you could get them for $6, so you could stock up
As long as they're left.
as long as they're left. You could stock up on them right now,
Who-
right?
who-
Like
Who makes that bait?
this is 13 fishing,
13, yeah.
but
Oh.
it is actually a really solid
You,
square bill bait, and you could use this is the deeper diver, and there's a smaller bill. Oliver put us on some
Yeah.
fish.
Remember that, clearly.
We caught our limit was over 20 pounds,
yeah.
and all we were doing was throwing these all day,
Just slow grinding them on the
slow
bottom.
grinding them, and they were straight eating them.
I will say I think a lot of people are scared to try that bait because it seems gimmicky.
Correct.
But once you actually start throwing it and you start understanding the bait, then you're like, oh, I get it. That's why it's different. And like we've said before, we've caught them on Malones, Berryessa.
Yeah.
Pretty much every lake that I've thrown it where they've been in the right depth level, they've hit it and they've eaten it. Especially Spot. Spots love that thing.
Yeah.
Is the different bill size a different size
So,
on the
yeah,
body
there's
of the
a
bait
different
as well?
So there's a shorter version bill of this that they make in a red color that I throw on the Delta,
Yeah.
and I have placed in our little club stuff multiple times from throwing it. And the red one actually has a black bill on it. It's not even. It's not even.
And
silver.
the hardware on these are solid.
Yeah,
Like,
I've never had to change any.
You don't have to change it out. You can just tie it on and start hucking it. And
Run it.
the weight of them is good for throwing it, right? Like,
Wow, they're getting rid of two
And-
good. Well, if they're
and
discontinuing
if you look at the
that,
eyes, they're really
So,
cool.
Here's another cool thing about the metal bill. It's metal. So I can actually bend this down and it'll run a little shallower, and I can bend it up and it'll run a little deeper. You're only talking a couple of feet between
Right.
each one, but you can fine tune it. If you're tipping the top of something and you need to dig a little harder, you can. And if you're digging too hard and you need to make it a lot softer, you can. So
Yeah.
you can kind of tune a crankbait. How many crankbaits are out there that you can tune
yeah, that's
the final, like, I mean, you're only talking a couple of feet, and that's looking at it through force.
Yeah, and there's no rattles or nothing in it, but that build going
It
back
makes
and
noise.
forth makes plenty of noise, and you could feel it.
that's interesting.
It was actually like it was an eye opener.
So
Well,
don't be afraid
it's-
to try them, but don't buy them all up because I need to stock.
Yeah.
Well, the funny, isn't it funny that how successful you've been with that particular brand, and it's going away. And I know the Lure Jensen Speed Trap has been around forever. It's going away. It's like, oh man,
it's
what are they doing?
it's because everybody's buying the hot baits instead of remembering the old school.
Oh,
baits.
minnow baits. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
All right, so
people.
hot dog or ice cream?
Hot dog
both.
or ice cream?
Both.
I
Hey,
am
it's not a-
gonna.
It's not a question.
You can't have both.
I'm having both.
You,
I might have my hot dog with the ice cream.
I'm
For
go-
God's sakes, I
He's
have.
gonna dip his hot dog in the ice cream with the sprinkles.
You know,
I'll have a hot dog right now, and I had a bacon wrapped hot dog for lunch today.
I'm going ice cream at B&W.
You're going ice cream?
Yeah.
Because you can always eat it, even if you like pop by and you're not like,
Yeah.
wife's got food at home,
Yeah,
something like
it's always
that.
good. And half and half. Chocolate and vanilla.
I think you say half hot dog, half.
There's
That's Brian.
something for you.
I don't want mustard. Just,
Yeah.
just use the ice cream.
Mustard mayo, nope. Hot dog with ice cream in it.
Nice.
It does not
Oliver
sound good.
Oliver says McCooney's might be the only good food in NorCal. You need to come up here and go with us to a couple places.
Yeah, we got
There's
some
a
places up
place.
here. There's a place in Williams,
Yes.
outside of Clear Lake. You get the Mar y Tierra burrito.
That's
or
land and
tacos.
sea.
I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Everybody that we've had try it has been like, like their regular carne asada tacos taste bland after you eat that. It's so delicious.
Yeah, it's
So next time you're in Clear Lake,
yes, it's carne asada, a strip of chorizo, and some shrimp and salsa.
yeah, and like
And
that
it's-
salsa that has just enough sweet
It's
with
a
a hint
verde.
of heat in it. It's
Yeah.
oh, it's
Well,
so
I'll
good.
tell you what, next time you're at Clear Lake and you want breakfast, run right up above Nice, Judy's Cafe. Highly recommend that place. If you like breakfast and a lot of food, there's your
Yeah.
stop.
Nice.
Our favorite breakfast place up there is the
Country Kitchen.
Country Kitchen in
Is that the Oaks?
Yeah,
Clear Lake.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
It's good.
their
fried
chicken
steak.
fried steak in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't care
Oh,
about
they're
the
good.
rest of the stuff on the menu. Chicken fried steak.
Yeah, no, it's good.
That's one of the best ones. That,
Except they
of
don't
chicken
open until
fried
like
steak.
8, right?
They don't
Yeah,
open
they
to
do
8,
not open
but
till
it's
like-
great for winter fishing up there
Great
when it's really cold.
There you go.
You just wait, go have breakfast, and then go fishing.
Right.
Yeah, and then you.
Yeah, we
freeze your
hit them
Teskey
up
off
the
out there.
second day last year when Mark and I weren't feeling great, so we
Yeah.
came home. Yeah, we had to stop and fuel up for the drive
yeah.
home.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely worth it.
Uh,
As far as ice cream versus hot dog, I'm gonna go ice cream for the same reason that you always have to. And then the other thing is, I'm sure I could get a hot dog from like Costco, but man, ideally, I'm not picking either or. I'm going with both.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I'm there.
So what
gotta
was the
choose it
point
or
of
lose
this
it.
one,
You gotta
right?
choose it or lose it.
You ain't giving up you ain't giving up one or the other forever, apparently.
What's that? No thanks. I choose life.
Oh God.
So Oliver says that all 13 fishing baits were discontinued.
Oh,
No.
Oh wow.
that means the scamp, all that got discontinued.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Well, choose it or lose it. We're losing it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely gonna have to make an order.
Hey, he also said
Yeah.
the fishing that week at Clear Lake was a tough week that week too.
Yeah, that wasn't.
And we caught 20 pounds throwing
Yeah.
these.
You could tell it was a tough week. I will say that Oliver definitely did everything he could to get us on
Yes.
bites, and we definitely appreciate that. Kind of
Yes.
opened our eyes and stuff because we went to the same place we normally fish,
Yeah.
but had a different approach to it, and actually made us go, "Huh? I wonder what else we could do," and have expanded upon that.
Yeah. I will
So,
tell you
It was
that
definitely worth the guide trip with.
that was my first ever guide trip.
It was mine also.
And amazing. If you guys ever want to go learn something, hit up Oliver, go out fishing with them. It was wonderful. He let us run the boat. We fished. We went more of learning or taking information from him. We didn't really
we,
care
We
if
went
we.
there to ask him a bunch of questions.
Yeah, we
basically.
actually, if he probably noticed, but we actually had like little notes that we prepped to ask him questions when we went. We didn't care if we caught fish. We did catch fish.
Yeah.
But
Good day.
More of the information trip.
Yeah.
yes, it was information, and it was great information that we took from that trip. So if you guys ever get an opportunity to fish with Oliver and I, Big Bass Dreams, take that opportunity and go, because it was a great time.
Yeah. Whether it's Clear Lake, he does some
Calico,
other stuff.
calico fishing now?
Yeah, there's calico fishing out on the ocean, which that does sound really fun.
Yeah.
We still got to get that trip down there.
Yeah, we do.
Um,
Oliver also says chatterbait fishing favorite crankbait right there, because that's basically what
Similar.
it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Eli said chili dog.
Oh,
That's
I
his
forgot
pick.
about chili dog.
He's picking the chili dog instead of
Forgot
ice
about
cream.
Chili dog.
Oh, you lost it already. It's gone forever.
Oh man. My insides.
You
will-
look dejected.
My insides will thank me for that.
No doubt.
What else we got? Oliver also says that one by Costco and Williams. It's
It's the one exit. It's called
Roberta's.
It's right across the street from McDonald's.
Not
right?
McDonald's.
no, the old Burger
Burger
King.
King.
There's a Starbucks at that.
Yeah,
It's kitty corner from the Starbucks in Williams. There's
And-
only one
and-
Starbucks.
right before Granzella's.
Correct.
Like if you take
Yeah.
the exit,
It's a yellow building that you would legit look at and be like, I don't know, kind of
Yeah.
sketchy.
go in
There's
there.
always cars parked there.
Dirt parking
Does
lot.
not matter what time you go there. There's cars there, and there's a reason it's good.
Yeah.
Especially the Mari Tierra.
Yes. It's actually, they have it on as tacos there. And then I asked if they could make it into a burrito. Winning. Winning.
Oh god.
I'm telling you. Marlon says Judy's is a good. Also, get your coffee from the Double D in Upper Lake. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
Gonna have to try it.
Roberta's Taqueria.
Roberta's Taqueria in Williams is a great place. Marlon also says, or no, Tom Smith. When are you guys going hardcore Delta that week in February?
Pretty much can't. Oh yeah.
Oh, you can.
You can, but
We have our next tournament is Clear Lake
Yeah,
in February.
February.
And if we go to Delta,
we can't go to Clear
we
Lake.
can't go to Clear Lake because of the restrictions from Clear Lake.
Yeah.
So it'll be a couple months before we can make it to Delta,
Unless we buy another boat, which is
unless Brian buys another boat.
It's always optional. I don't think my
Conveniently, there's
I don't
a-
think my wife's on here. I think I should buy another boat.
we
I should
agree.
have 3 boats in the backyard.
Yeah, we should agree.
You agree? You guys agree? Buy 3 boats. Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Somebody
Somebody kicked a rock and found this guy under it.
right? So
Which one's this one?
this guy is, I'm coming back in March. That cutie from the far left is back better than ever. Are you moving back? Are you coming to visit?
Probably coming back to visit.
Cutie patootie. If you want to go fishing, hit us up.
Yeah, he's probably welcome on anybody's boat here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Clayton was in the club, fished with us for a long time, moved
Now
to
in Idaho?
Idaho. Been duck
Shooting
hunting there.
ducks and
Yeah. But yeah, are you moving back?
Catching trout, our bait.
Yeah, our bait. Are you moving back? Are you just coming back?
I'm guessing he's visiting.
Probably visiting. Marlon says a must stop at the taco stand for sure.
And you got shut down,
We
by the
actually-
way.
We've actually ran into a couple of different people. We ran into numerous people at that taco stand. Like In Deep, we've ran into there, and a couple other ones.
Yeah, Brian spoke a little soon.
Yeah.
Oh, he was just hoping. He had his fingers crossed.
Oh,
And
no.
I guarantee you, they straight.
It says I think not from Rachel.
See, if she was smart, she'd be bartering. She'd be like, okay, you get a boat, but I get whatever car I want.
Right?
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, you guys are going to be broken hearted.
Yeah.
What's up, Camel Joe? Camel Joe's on there. Clayton says he's just coming back to catch some green giants.
Yeah, that's a good time of the year to do
That is a great time of year, and we are fishing Clear Lake in March.
Yeah.
And last year I might have put up a 25-pound bag in March.
Yeah, and this year they're chunkier, so they're probably gonna.
I may have broke my trolling motor in March.
You did.
Yeah.
Like the trolling motor in
Yeah,
March.
you might have
You
dock
threw
rammed
up
it.
25. I think we threw up 24 in March.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a good time.
Good month, yeah.
Rachel says, I like the way that Miller thinks.
See, got a barter.
Right.
We didn't even get very many people. Clayton, popping frog or walking frog? What are you doing? What are you guys doing?
Walking frog, Clayton. Clayton, if you want to fish in March, walking frog.
Remember, I had 25 pounds.
Yeah.
Popping frog.
Pop it.
But yeah.
What else we got? What else do
I
we want to
don't
go with?
know. We've only got one choose it or lose it
No, we got two down.
from them.
Oh, we got one from them.
One from them so far.
That was the ice cream hot dog.
Yeah.
Hot dog and ice cream.
And that was just a complete meltdown with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly.
You all couldn't handle that one.
Let's go with something a little more to timing, to current timing.
All right.
That would be Ned rig or shaky head.
FYI, Clayton says the pro says walking.
See, walking.
So it's even now. Yeti, Eli, you gotta
Somebody.
you gotta chime in here and put us back on the popping as winner.
I'll let you start off. Ned rig or shaky?
Oh, I'm going shaky head. However, you
Gee, I
got
wonder why.
you.
Did you not just catch a 583 or whatever?
I think it was more or less 584.
Yeah,
spotted
something like
bass
that.
on a shaky head.
Yeah.
Good reason.
However, you have to differentiate. Where do you draw the line from Ned rig to shaky head?
I mean, technically, if you put the same bait on each one, they basically do the same thing. But a typical, it's up to you. Where do you draw the line? Because if you get the shaky head with the little curly cues on there, it's a different mounting place than because a shaky head you can rug weedless, and unless you're using Bass Union's weedless,
There's
Ned rig.
there's an owner
Typically,
block
a Ned
head.
rig is
Open
open
hook.
hook.
Correct.
That
Yeah.
would be your difference.
Well, just say
One-
traditional, right?
So open hook Ned rig versus typical shaky head.
Okay. I'm going shaky head. And I will say I'll throw a Ned rig every once in a while now and a little more lately, trying them out with a little bigger bait. But I'm going to go, Brian Latimer says if it's 3 inches or less,
That's
Ned
my,
rig.
that's my department. What are we talking about?
We're talking about
I'm
baits.
I'm so confused right now of where we're talking about or what
Well,
we're talking
technically,
about.
So-
his Ned rig, that's a TRD, is 4 inches. So
Yeah.
it's not a Ned rig.
So
What would
four
it
four
be
and
then?
above is a shaky head.
All right, well, congratulations. You're now a shaky head fisherman.
Well, that's
Isn't
just his opinion.
The
It
TRD
says-
the TRD is 3.
It says big turd on the
Are
package.
you really going to argue
Yes.
with B-Lat? I'm pretty sure he's
Yeah.
a lot better fishing than any of us are.
Yeah. So
Or what are you going with? Stay on topic for a second.
Ned rig.
on Ned rig.
I might have
Like you
had a
didn't know
beer
that
before
answer.
this.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah, I knew that answer already.
I'm going Ned rig.
But he's going to cheat and use a 4-inch on it. But
Yeah.
technically, he's a shaky head.
Modified Ned rig.
I'm using a Ned rig. I feel like I have better bottom contact. I could swim it. I can. I straight catch fish with it in multiple places, and I don't feel like I have as much control over the shaky head. Like I don't feel it. I don't feel the bait as well. Maybe it's the gear that I have, but I've caught fish on a shaky head, but I feel like I could travel better with the Ned rig, right? Covering ground, dragging it along.
What about you?
Shaky head. I just like the fact that you can set it up weedless.
Yeah.
That's the big one right there for me is just, and yeah, and you can run your margarita mutilator on it and go fishing.
What a surprise.
That's it, man.
I say for me, shaky head or Ned rig.
Yes, that one. But bigger.
I'm probably gonna have to pick. I'm only gonna have to pick Ned rig. You already knew. I'm only gonna have to pick Ned rig because I never pick up shaky head, and every time I pick it up, I make 3 casts with it and I put it down. But that's also the same thing I do with Ned rig too. So I have more confidence in a Ned rig than a shaky head, and that's just time on the water.
Watching me
as far
catch
as being
fish
able
with
to
it.
be weedless, yeah, I spend most of the time throwing drop shot while he catches fish, and I'm just like, that freaking thing. Why does it work? It's so stupid.
They do.
But I actually have something that I prefer over both shaky and Ned rig. But we'll do that.
You can't.
We'll do that one. In
You
a
can't go with
future
Yeah,
that.
you can't add a third.
Yeah,
you
no,
can't have a
I will.
third.
I will pick a different one over both of those.
All right.
But I will pick a Ned over
Before you go,
shaky.
we got Clayton says Ned rig. Getsy says shaky head.
There you go, Gets.
So it's back to split again.
Elau says shaky head.
Good job.
It's going with the shaky head.
Uh,
I'm not heartbroken.
Delta
about it.
Fishing
I
Co.
hate Ned rig.
says popping frog.
There we go.
We're still in.
All right.
Elau says popping frog.
Attaboy.
Ah, this is rigged.
And Getsy says popping frog.
Yeah.
We are running away with it.
This
Right?
is rigged.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I saw you texting over there. How much did you pay them to say that?
Right?
Hot dog bribe.
Getsy says I'm confused too.
Yeah, we're all confused.
Yeah. Clayton says if Brian gets a chance to use a Ned rig, everyone is in trouble.
Yeah. It's like watching paint dry. I compare it to throwing a kid's sock. That's all you're feeling on there is just, you're dragging a kid's sock across the ground. And it does catch fish though.
Yeah. Getsy asked who's driving me home. Big John.
Is that a big word?
No. The name of
It's the. Tahi.
it's
Tahi.
I don't know. I don't know if I could say this name.
Uh-oh.
Whack vampire.
So you see where I'm at?
We'll just call you vampire.
Yeah.
Anybody who's in the comments, anybody who's rewatching this, go back, look for the vampire one. We can't say.
He asked, "Do you think about fishing local lakes or shores from for bank anglers?" I did that all for a long time
Yes,
before I had
me
a
too.
boat.
Yeah.
If you actually like Berryessa right now, they're pushed in the back of pockets.
Yeah.
Not all the pockets you're gonna have to cover to find which pocket it is, but they're actually extremely accessible right now from the bank at Berryessa.
Mhm.
So you just basically you're looking for rock points in backs of pockets, and they're either gonna be in like the back third or the back 2/3. So like take the whole cove and then break it into 3. It's either gonna be between the points in the middle, like just work through that, and then once you figure out where they're at in those 3 sections, then you can jump to the next point or the next cove and do the same thing going
Right.
down it.
Uh,
And you can walk that bank.
Clayton says all the people that pick popping frogs, they just don't know how to walk
Clayton
a
knows.
frog.
Oh, see, that's what it is. It's just a bunch of amateurs, and the pros, actually.
Yeah.
Eric
right.
Lau again says chili dog.
That's 2 chili dog votes from Eric.
Yeah, he must really like.
Somebody
the
likes
dog.
a chili dog.
And then Delta Fisher Co says WAVM, laugh out loud for the vampire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wave
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Wave
there you
them.
go.
Wave
Wave
them.
'em.
Wave them.
Yeah,
Wave 'em.
WAVM. We could say that one.
Yeah. Wave them.
Just throw my pen.
Tom Smith says anyone famous appear while you were fishing in your water areas? Like, so anybody famous that were fishing in our bodies of water? There was a ton of people famous.
I had a day. I don't know if this was good or bad because I didn't catch any fish that day. But I had a day that I was at Clear Lake, and Jared Lintner was either at a spot I was driving to, or I was at a spot when he was trying to go where we basically leapfrogged around the lake.
Yeah.
I had a horrible day. I only caught like 3 fish that day. But I saw him consistently throughout the entire day.
Yeah.
And was like, I don't know if this is good or bad because he's probably stacking them and I'm not getting bit. But it was kind of interesting to be going to the same spots as him as I was trying to figure it out. And then I've also the same thing like
Bobby
Mark,
Barrett
Eric.
comes here, the Delta, all the time. Dobbins from Dobbins Rods used to fish the Delta all
I
the
used
time.
to fish against them a lot back in the
Yeah.
day, and a couple times at Clear Lake, same thing. I've had him roll up on me, and I rolled up on him. Like, oh, I feel sort of good when when Gary Dobbins is fishing something you like. You feel like you did something good.
Right.
Yeah, you feel like I actually.
Now, I can't fish it as good as him, but I was in the right spot.
Right. I at least feel like I have a clue.
Yeah.
Skeet Reese
Used to fish
Yeah.
against him a little bit.
fishes local.
Well, he lives here. In
Yeah.
Auburn.
Does help his
Ish Monroe.
his glow in the dark.
Yeah, he's from here.
Ken Ma.
Ken Ma. Who's that other guy?
I was just trying to think of people I've like ran into on the water.
Well, one fished in our club.
Oh, MDJ.
MDJ.
Yeah, MDJ was with our club for like 2 tournaments before he realized that he was way above our level.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was.
But
in
yeah,
the club for like 2 tournaments.
There's a bunch
He
of
makes good
people that-
videos too. Someone was mentioning videos earlier. He makes pretty good videos too.
Yeah, MDJ has
Yeah.
good videos. They're very informative and
Yes.
entertaining.
Yeah, but there's a bunch. Being that we have the Delta, we have Clear Lake that was in the 1900s century,
I had
was the number one
Yeah.
lake for.
Back in the day, I had a buddy of mine that took Al Lindner out on Clear Lake. And I can't remember I don't know if it was a Cajun boat thing, but it was pretty cool. They had a great time. And he even goes, he opened his rod locker and he had Al Lindner autographed the inside of his rod locker.
Nice.
I said, good thinking, dude.
Yeah, right? I just have stickers on the inside of my.
Hot dog wrappers.
Right?
Getsy said Jake said Poppin' Frog
Of course.
It's rigged.
Oh, yeah. Pop
This,
it.
this
winning. Eric Lau laughed at us
I
again.
feel like we're.
I thought you were gonna say he said a chili dog again.
Put some cheese on that chili
Well,
dog.
he's in Reno.
In case you didn't know,
yeah.
Lau likes the chili dog.
He likes the chili dog.
Marlon said he came across Dusty Baker a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then Tom Smith is asking, how much cheating will go on in the opens now that there's no co-angler?
I don't know, and we'll never know.
No.
Hey, well, the good news is we'll find out about less of them.
Yeah, I think though most of them are filmed.
They do all have cameras. It's impossible to watch 8 hours of footage a day for 200 and something boats.
Right. And
So what's going to end up happening
You're gonna have to
is
go with marshals.
if someone accuses somebody of something, they'll consult the footage and then go from there. That's what's going to
a
happen.
triggering event.
The same credit to that when they get to the Elite Series, they don't have not everybody has a marshal in their boat anyways at the Elite Series level anyways.
You would think it would be easy to get marshals, volunteers to marshal.
It's not volunteers because they actually have to pay to marshal.
But I'm saying just make it as a volunteer though.
You have to pay to get on somebody's boat to
Like
be a marshal?
MLF, you pay to marshal.
So basically it's
When
like a
you're-
guide
when you
trip
do
in a
that-
sense.
It's a guide trip though, for
in a
real.
sense. No, it is. But
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
little bit.
if it got to the point
If you're
where it got
watching
so
the-
bad
You're
or
not paying much, don't get me wrong.
no, but it's still though,
You're
why
still paying.
not, if it becomes an issue or a question, just open it up, fill the seats with marshals. There's a lot of retired
that's-
dudes that would literally travel
So
to
what's,
do that, to be marshaling.
so
Right.
what's happening is they can fill Saturday, Sunday, they can't fill Thursday, Friday.
They can if the guy's retired.
Well, that's so the reason why they're not
Jeff.
doing the co-anglers.
Yeah.
The reason why they're not doing the co-anglers is, from what I understand, the co-anglers were less than half of the regular field. They were only getting like 80 co-anglers. So
Mm.
now you're going to tell me as a pro, I get a co-angler who's going to split fish with me when 2/3 of the rest of the field doesn't have to split any fish.
Yeah, that was
It
the
kind
compromise.
of
That
got
was
to the
the-
point where it wasn't really fair anymore, and that's
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That ain't,
yeah.
that
Because
would
now
be
it's
cool.
like now you're hoping you don't get a co, so you don't have to split fish.
Absolutely. That
All right,
would
you guys
be-
ready?
Oh.
Here we go.
We gotta know another choose it or lose it.
Yep. What's the next bait? From Clayton. And Getsy goes brush hog or Cincos.
Sango.
That's easy. Senko.
You're going Cinco?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cinco.
Cinco.
Oh,
Senko.
wow.
Brush
I can
hog's a
use it
great bait, but
Because I can nail weight it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Wacky rig it.
Well,
You
that was
can do
my
a lot with a brush.
that
hog.
was my bait. If I could only choose one, was the Cinco.
Yeah,
Just
you
'cause-
got it.
remember, because you could do so many things with it. I mean,
If it's choose
Yes.
it or lose it, all fishing baits or a Cinco.
yeah.
Cinco.
Senko.
Cinco.
Yeah, no, definitely a Cinco. It definitely has. And then you could buy so many different sizes of them and make them like you
And
could
it's
buy a
your net-
Cinco
and
this big
It's your Ned bait.
and drop shot it.
Although a baby brush hog is really good to drop shot, and Carolina rig, a regular brush hog.
They're-
They are
You
good.
can flip brush hogs. You can do a lot with brush hogs, but
Well, before
anything you can't, you can also do it all with a Cinco.
before this bait took over for the club,
For the
the baby
Zarchies.
brush hog was the dominant bait for the
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
Watermelon candy.
Yeah.
Watermelon
Yeah,
candy,
watermelon.
baby brush hog
Yeah.
Watermelon red.
Yep.
was the previous.
Absolutely. Everybody. That's
Yeah.
2/3 of the fish caught were on that bait.
And that
And
bait,
then-
I actually throw the
Wow.
one with gold, the watermelon gold brush hog, and I drop shot that when they're keying on
Oh
baits.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Since you know we're an hour into this.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're keying on bait, I will pick that bait up and it will be surprising. It's not even a bait color, but it's surprising how well you can get bit
'Cause
in
it's
those situations.
pretty.
I think it's just the legs are flapping, you got the gold going. They're just like,
Little
I don't know what that is. I'm just going to eat it to find out.
Little
Clayton
disco.
says brush hog on Carolina rig.
Yes.
That's 100%.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
great,
that's-
great way to
that's-
put it on.
That is where that bait shines, and especially when you know which side goes up on the brush hog.
Yeah. And then I pop the arms so the arms
They,
Wag
they
too.
do what? They go
go like this.
Do that again.
This is not as bad as what you did.
Hi guys. Brian's over here. Hi, guys.
Yeah. You might have saw a screenshot of that earlier. He's a little embarrassed.
Yeah.
Brian's over here saying good morning.
Clayton says he still doesn't know what side is right.
Hey, next time you get a brush hog, for those of you that don't know, I don't even have a way to demonstrate it. We'll just take this. So if you take your if you take the brush hog and you run it over your finger, as that body breaks over, if you run it one direction, you'll see the fin stand up. And if you run it the other directions, the fins lay down into your finger. You want to rig it so that the fins stand up while the hook is there. So the hook itself is going to go away from the fin standing up. And that way, when it rolls over a rock or something on the ground, it will flare those fins up. That's the up and down.
There you go. Jesus' God said, his thoughts on who is better finesse fisherman, Aaron Martin or Kevin Van Dam?
Finesse fishing?
Aaron Martin.
Oh, Aaron Martin's.
Because KVD doesn't.
He was
fish.
He was more of a
Yeah.
power guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched a.
He could do everything, but he's.
Yeah, I just watched
really
an
good
interview
player.
with him, and he basically was like, "I don't slow down unless I have to." Because somebody asked, like, "Oh, what do you do for drop shot?" And he goes, "I don't throw it." Is what it
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
was. Is I don't throw it. If I have to, it's a really bad day. Is kind of what he not politely said, but indirectly said.
Tom Smith also asked, biggest tournament win or memorable time you seen a big shot in your water areas, which basically what
Maybe we just
we were
talked about.
talking about, right?
Biggest tournament win for me is just a club tournament. It's not a
Yeah.
big dog.
Well, we did that frog tournament, and
tournament.
we
We got fourth.
we
in
got
the-
fourth, and that
in the
was
frog in the UFC
and
amateur side.
100 boats.
Yeah,
Yeah, out of 100
that's an achievement.
Yeah, there was.
And you guys made a comeback from Saturday,
Yeah.
which wasn't
we had
great.
we had a
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a horrible Saturday. We did not have a good showing on Saturday, but
Right.
Sunday we definitely put it together.
Yeah. Getsy is asking any bait, but you could only choose watermelon or pumpkin. So you got to lose one of them.
Use it or lose it, watermelon or pumpkin.
Yeah.
As in green pumpkin, I'm taking it.
Green pumpkin.
I'm going watermelon because I don't even buy pumpkin.
No.
And I don't throw chatterbaits green pumpkin either. I don't think they have a chatterbait that's watermelon. They might.
So.
don't
I will
think so.
tell you,
I think they have a watermelon chat or something like that.
in the Sorry Steve, we
Flick shake, 4.8.
4.8
Good luck
flick
finding them.
shake.
They
Yeah.
don't make them no more.
Yeah. They're like 13 fishing.
Yeah.
These are watermelon candy. There is a pumpkin candy that you could still get because people weren't buying them. It doesn't work as good.
It does not.
It's a slightly
It
different
still
color.
works. It just doesn't
Little
work. as
darker.
good.
That's
Yeah, it's
interesting. That slight difference makes
Yeah.
such a big difference.
Right.
That's interesting.
I'm
Yeah.
going green pumpkin.
Green pumpkin.
I'm going watermelon. Yep.
Which one are you going with?
Watermelon.
Watermelon. Yeah.
Watermelon candy. I don't think you
If I
can.
threw Jigmore, I bet you it would be a little bit harder to switch between them.
Well,
Do you
see, like
throw
I
a
just
jig?
instead of
isn't one of your Ned Rig baits? Isn't that green pumpkin on the top?
it's
One of them is half green pumpkin, isn't
it's-
it?
Oh, you do the
called Gobi Bryant.
yeah.
Yeah, that one's half. You got to get rid of that one.
Isn't it
And
green
then I
pumpkin
get rid of
pumpkin?
Gobi Bryant. I still got the deal.
I think green pumpkin you could take it anywhere in the country and use it.
Oh, sure.
I think
Yeah.
you can do it with watermelon.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I always tend to think it's a little more clearer water.
Have you ever heard David
Except for
Dudley talking
except for
about
this.
green pumpkin versus watermelon?
No.
So he says, all right, so if the clouds is happening, you got to know David Dudley to understand it a little bit more, right? If the clouds happening and there's a wind or whatever it is, if it's 10 foot or lower, I'm going green pumpkin. And if it's less than 10 foot, I'm going watermelon. Okay? But now that's cloudy with the wind. If it's sunny, no wind, if it's 10 foot or lower, I'm going green pumpkin. And if it's 10 foot or less, I'm going watermelon. And then he just kind of keeps going with all these different scenarios. And in the end, if it's 10 foot or more, it's green pumpkin. And if it's 10 foot or less, he goes watermelon. No matter, and he keeps coming up with all these different scenarios.
Patterns.
whatever it is.
You're all like trying to follow it.
Trying to explain to people, like, you don't need to ask any questions. My rule is below 10 green pumpkin, deeper than 10 green pumpkin, shallower watermelon.
Delta Fishco says watermelon red flake for sure.
Yeah.
Great
It's just
color.
the old standard.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why I pick watermelon over green pumpkin. Is watermelon
Yeah.
red flake is
That's a good bait.
You
Just a
just
fish
catch-
catcher, right?
Yeah.
Watermelon red, kinky beaver.
Yeah.
Cinco.
Or the
Cinco.
I throw it in the rage bug.
Rage bug, watermelon red.
And speedworm.
That's how we caught 31 pounds. Watermelon red.
Yeah, watermelon red, rage bug, and a couple other baits, but all watermelon red basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
Flapping
color.
hog.
Just a great color.
Flap and hog, all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely days where they want something darker or brighter, like more red, but they're day in, day out, you can't really go wrong. You at least get bit from that and work from there.
Yeah. Let's go.
I got a good one.
You got a good one?
Yeah, it'll create not controversy, but it makes it tough.
All right.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Let's make it tough.
Tougher than hot dog and ice cream.
Yeah. Again, you can't ever use one ever again, right?
Oh man.
I'm in.
Now I'm kind of worried because you're really like restating.
Spinning rod, bait caster.
I'm gonna go baitcaster
I'm gonna go bait caster.
because you know why? BFS gear. If you were to ask that
Prior
3
to
years
that,
ago, if you were to ask it 3 years ago, I'd be like, I don't know, this is gonna be bad. But with all the BFS stuff now, you could go baitcaster and get away with it.
Yeah.
Because it's really, really hard to throw a 9-inch glide bait on any spinning rod that they make. Now, could you get a spinning rod mounted on, custom made on the blanks of baitcasters? Yeah, but you're still limited by the reels.
I agree. I'm going bait caster because I could get a lighter rod, a better bait caster,
Yeah,
and
you were
throw
just
a drop
throwing
shot.
your Ned / shaky head because it was too long on a baitcaster.
Yeah. I was.
I'm going spinning rod.
I'm going spinning rod as well.
Yep. Spinning
Okay.
rod.
Oh,
I think
Eric Lau says chili dog.
He must be at a slot machine or something with an adult beverage or 2 or 5.
his video's on lag. It keeps taking him back to the beginning.
Um,
So why are you going spinning rod over baitcasters? Because you only throw drop shot? And shaky head?
Because I do a lot of dragging.
Oh, you do spoon also.
I spoon with the spinning rod.
Yeah.
I drag with the spinning rod. I drop shot with the spinning rod. There's just a lot of techniques. I top water. I throw jerk baits with the spinning rod. So for me,
Oh, yeah, you
spinning
definitely-
rod would be the way to go.
yeah,
Granted, there's going to be with both of them, there's going to be some techniques that's going to be sort of hard, but I would prefer the spinning rod if I had to choose.
yeah.
A lot of the same reasons. And I think you can get spinning rods that are, you're probably not going to throw large swim baits, right? Like, but
Oh, you can. My buddy,
you're going to get some spinning rods that
You
are pretty
talk to my
stiff,
buddy Chris,
medium, heavy,
Fish Chris.
heavy spinning rods. And,
he's throwing 8 and 10 inch HUDs on. All he threw was spinning gear. He's caught over 100 over 10.
wow.
Why? Because you can hug it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can fling it, man.
Yeah.
With that braid,
Right.
send it.
All
Uh,
right, so
Clayton.
you only have one spinning rod to buy. What are you buying?
Oh, God.
Only one spinning rod.
What do you mean?
What
by
do you
that?
mean
You
one?
can only buy one spinning rod.
I know, but what? What do you mean? What's brand or?
Brand, model, what is it? How long is it? What weight is it?
Dobbin 702.
Oh gosh,
That'd be my spinning rod. If I could only buy one spinning rod, it'd be that one.
Dobbin 702. It's versatile. I do everything with it.
I don't even know the number. I know the favorite rod because I won them at the raffle. They're 7.1s. Absolutely work great. But I don't know.
Like a medium
It's
light.
like
or
medium,
something.
yeah, it's like a medium light, fast taper. They work fantastic.
Yeah, I think
7
you got to
foot
go
medium fast.
medium. Yeah, you don't want to go medium light, probably.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
medium, fast taper.
Yeah.
Clayton says bait caster.
He's wrong.
Delta
Now he's on my side.
Delta Fish Co. says bait caster, accuracy over distance for me. Getsy says bait caster. Delta Fishing Co. says and chili dog. Elau says bait caster and laugh out loud about the chili dog, I'm sure. And then Clayton is there any new hats I have to rep while I'm fishing against these potato heads out here? He wants to order some hats from you. Just hit up James. Order some
Yeah,
hats.
when you come in March, we can get you a hat.
Yeah.
Get you a couple hours.
He said he wants to fish with all the potato heads after everything thaws out. I guess he can't fish right now. That sucks.
Little chilly. More chilly?
Yeah, when you're worried about how thick is the ice, can I go out there to drill a hole in it? I don't think he's that cold, but I don't know if I can do that live.
Marlon says loose speed stick, 7.6 medium spinning rod.
There you go.
I could bass fish and crappie fish.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you can crappie fish with the 702 because
Yes.
I've done it.
Yeah, we might have done it multiple times.
Where do you see technology going? Cooler Talk is live, forward-facing, 360 around boat. Thoughts? I think that the next step is they're going to make one head unit that does forward and perspective together, because the ruling is that they can only have one forward-facing unit.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to combine the two so that you can use both at the same time. I think that's their next innovation that comes out. I currently run one perspective, one perspective, one forward. But I will say 90% of the time, I'm only using one or the other. I'm not using both. But it is nice if you're running back in a creek channel or something and you're over 20 foot of water, it's nice to be able to see in perspective where that creek channel is without having to scope around to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you don't see fish with it. It's more of like a side scan, like an active side scan. As far as 360, there's what's that kid, Drew Gill?
Mm-hmm.
Drew Gill has an interview where he talks about it's basically return on investment. Basically is kind of what it is. So you may get more information on your screens, but if your brain can't process it, none of that information matters. Like having 6 different forward scans, you can only look at one screen at a time. You can only do so much. Yes, you're able to look between 2 of them faster without having to change any settings, but there's diminishing returns basically on that, where just because you add more scopes doesn't mean you gain more information.
Right.
Because you can only process so much.
And that's kind of why one of the forward-facing sonars currently is a little not as clear as some of the others.
Well, they came out with a new version.
But they still haven't fixed that problem.
No, because they don't want to run a separate box.
Correct. But running a separate box.
When you run a separate box, you're able to power a whole new ECM, a whole new computer that does all the thinking processing and then shoots it out to a unit, and all that is a display unit.
Right.
It doesn't. That part
monitor.
doesn't do any thinking.
Yeah. It's like a computer
so now
monitor.
it can think for itself and display what this thought over here.
Right.
Correct.
So the whole point of them putting it together is simplicity. You don't have to find a place to put a box. It eats less power.
Right.
But they're loading up the head unit, and that's why the head unit gets slow. You start loading a bunch of waypoints on there, and it's going to slow it down.
Do you ever think though, like
Simplicity-wise, it's fine though.
this made me think, like vehicle technology now, a lot of times when you are towing, or some of these trucks nowadays, you put it in reverse, all of a sudden it shows you a 360 view around the vehicle. You ever think there could be one head unit either inside the hole that
Where
could
they
just
have one box that can interface multiples. Well, that's kind of what
Yeah.
Active Target 2 does, is you have 2 units, and it's able to stitch the 2 together to
Right.
give you a wider array. And that's kind of already mostly there to Instant 360, which I'm glad you said that. Right now, Lowrance has Active Target 2 where you can put 2 together to see perspective. And there's not a lot of active targets out there. I just put a poll on my Instagram, and nobody that follows my Instagram, not very many people. Nobody has Active
2,000?
Target 2.
2,000?
On Instagram?
Yeah.
I probably don't even have 300.
So, 3,000.
Which is crazy, because
Isn't it
think about it
3,000?
this way. If you walked into a room with 300 people, and let's say you're at like a food venue or something, you're like a restaurant, you walk in, there's 300 people, you'd be like, let's go somewhere else. Like, there's too many people. It's kind of crazy that's how many people follow you on Instagram.
Getsy says Huddleston or River to Sea 168.
Both of those are in here later.
All right.
So you have to tune in later. And they're not against each other, but they're against other baits. Because a HUD's on the bottom and a glide is on top.
Think sonogram tech and what is the biggest bottleneck today? Picture clarity would be my guess. The curve is my opinion.
Yeah, I currently think that if you get accustomed to forward scan, you can tell what species a bait is or a fish is for the most part.
Yeah.
You are not 100% at any time. You're always guessing, but you can learn that basically. But I think it would be if they find some sort of way to be able to identify species. I don't know. I personally, I think like, you know, that when you get older, there's a certain point where you just get off the train and you no longer want to progress forward.
Why did you look left at me and then to the right at John?
You know, my dad doesn't have forward scan.
I don't.
No, but like that whole thing, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm always open to technology, whatever comes next, but I don't know if I need any more. I already know that I can't catch 99% of the fish that are out there. Why do I need to see more fish that I can't catch?
Yeah, but the big advantage is your cast is at a fish.
Yes.
That's the huge,
Yes.
and you're finding.
Or there's
Like
just
this
fish in
time
that
of year.
location.
Well, what we're getting ready to come up to. You're going to find the little pockets of the fish where I can't. I'm literally
Yeah.
blind. So
Yeah.
but-
And not just the
so
fish,
if
but
a
some-
ba-
Grinding it out.
It
Sometimes
don't-
the bait.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well,
you
sure.
can see the bait even more.
Sure, you
know.
can't. It doesn't guarantee you're going to catch fish. It just guarantees you're going to be throwing at fish or you're finding them. So
Right.
it's a huge help, but it doesn't guarantee you're going to catch them. That's all.
Clayton says, James, why was that so zesty?
I don't know. Because it's always zesty.
And then
The only thing that I would ask for on forward scan is being able to see fish on the bottom better. But I understand why they can't because of the way the sonar system works.
right.
But that bottom separation to be able to see fish on the bottom better, if you learn how to work with it, you can see those fish. But it'd be nice to not have to hit those angles and do those things.
Right. Delta Fishing Co. says exactly the curve. And then Elau says he's got to get some Z's, 3 of them. Later, guys. See you on Saturday.
Yep.
And then Delta Fisherman says, not more fish, clearer picture.
Yeah, that would be the bottom contour difference would
Yeah.
be the clearer picture.
Right.
Because definitely being able to read their body language of knowing where they're like seeing their fins in a reaction when you're running a bait and being able to see that tail or being able to tell if that fish did like a flip, which direction it's facing. Those are all definitely little bits of clues
Well,
of them swerving your bait and not eating it anyways.
and this is a hot topic, but it's the same thing like when you're bed fishing and you throw a bait in there.
Yeah.
You put a little perch through there and you could see the fish flare up.
Flare up, yeah.
Right, and get mad because that bait's going through there. The same thing, when you're running a bait with forward-facing sonar, you could see the fish react to what's going on. And if it reacts negative, you know, hey,
We saw that.
we
didn't
saw
Bryce?
that. Let's put this away right now.
It is very interesting if you pay attention to the people who like bed fishing and the people who like forward scan. There's similarities in that. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of it is because you're already used to watching body movements of fish and you're already intrigued by it. There's people who do not bed fish at all. And it's funny because those are the same people that say that I don't get it, forward scans. I have it, I don't get it, I don't use it.
Yeah. Tom Smith says, do you guys see yourself in 5 years with a 22-inch monitor and a new forward-facing sonar? Absolutely, because in 5 years, I'm going to be
Close to retiring.
very close to retirement. I'm probably going to need the 22-inch screen just to be able to see the fish.
But by then, you'll need about 5 bass boats for each different place you go fishing.
That's all right.
Right.
I'll be retired.
The only thing I change with my boat would be add talons or something to the back. I run 2 12s in the front and 1 12 at the console. I don't think I'd change it. And that's 1 Lowrance in the front, 1 Lowrance at the console, and a Garmin up front for the second 12. I don't think I'd add another screen or change sides.
Not even go to a 16.
It'd be really
Yeah.
cool to see a 22-inch forward-facing sonar.
It's a lot of bow weight.
The whole bait coming through the water.
Well, by then it'll be watching TV. It ain't even gonna be like it is.
Yeah,
now.
you'll probably be able to see the color of the fish.
Yeah,
It winked at me. I just saw that fish wink at me.
Hey, that for sure is a trout. Don't throw at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
You'll be seeing it really good
Um,
or the state shut it all down.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
That-
think that.
Yeah, it's California.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be California.
NBT screens, Getsy says.
Those are, yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, NBT. That's the
Yeah,
big
it's
screen.
Yeah.
crazy.
That's what all the battleship or whatever, the 22 or 23 inch. I can't. I can't justify the bow weight.
The hell
Basically,
is that thing?
that's a 8-inch
hitch?
trash fish.
Trash fish. Sure.
I think that's pretty much it. We
For
already
this time.
rambled. I'm hungry, and
Yeah.
it's food time.
Chili dog.
Whatever you do, don't forget the chili dog.
You got to put some type of comment on the thumbnail for this one, the chili dog episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for guys for participating.
Yes.
Even though I really feel like it was rigged with the whole poppin' frog thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm pretty sure it
Dominated.
was rigged.
Yes.
I want to know how much they got paid. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other suggestions to add to this list right here of things, you can always hit me up on Instagram. You can always leave a comment down below. And thank you, John,
Thank
for
you.
joining. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, Getsy says it's bedtime. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, Betsy.
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 Clayton says be ready in March and good luck this weekend. We'll be ready for you. We'll go. Getsy says he got a hot dog.
I'll leave that one alone.
Delta Fishing Co. says thanks guys later. And then
Later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tom came on, said more lake breakdowns and thank you guys.
Yeah, we it's been as far as the lake breakdown stuff that will be coming.
Yeah.
Just gotta get through the work schedule is
Yes.
what's been cutting me back the most.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
there
it's
will be
tough.
Berryessa will be coming out Wednesday, and that'll be from this weekend.
Yep.
Will be Berryessa again. So weird that it's Berryessa. with
Well,
this whole
we got various attacks.
tag system. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I hope you get them.